In this lecture, we're going to talk about two specific types of network access methodologies. The first one is CSMA, which stands for Carrier Sense Multiple Access, and the second one is token ring. So CSMA, hopefully that sounds familiar because I've introduced that acronym several times so far in the course. I introduced it as CSMA/CD and CSMA/CA. Now, when we talk about CSMA, it pertains to wired networks on a TCP/IP network and wireless networks on a TCP/IP network. So we're going to discuss them both again, CSMA/CD when we talk about switching, and we're going to talk about CSMA/CA again when we talk about wireless networks, because it uses a different methodology for communication on a network, whether you're on a wired network or a wireless network. And this is the most common type of methodology in modern TCP/IP networks. Token ring is an antiquated methodology. I personally haven't seen it. And you hear about it when you hear about ring networks, where it's not only a logical token ring methodology for access, but also that physical ring where the networks are connected by one and another in that physical circle. So carrier sense, what does that mean? Well, it means that the network device, let's just say it's a node, let's just say that it's a computer. It checks for communication on the network to see if there's any communication occurring before it tries to send data. The second thing, multiple access, what this means, it means that there's going to be multiple devices accessing this network at once. So what that tells us is that there is a chance for collisions. And the larger the network, the greater the chance there is for collisions. And then when we talk about these two different methodologies down here, it uses a collision detection methodology for a wired network to try to detect collisions if we need to resend data. And for wireless networks, it tries to avoid collisions. And I'm not going to go into any more detail because I want to revisit this and discuss it more when we talk about collisions on a network, when we talk about switches in our switching section of the course. So that's CSMA. And remember, it's CSMA/CD and CSMA/CA, depending upon if you're on a wired network or a wireless network. Now, token ring. Well, it's pretty basic in terms of just an introduction. With token ring, there's a logical token. It's not a physical token, but you can just think of a physical token if it's an easy way to visualize this. Assume there's a token, and each computer on the network can use this token to communicate. Well, it's going to pass that token around from device to device on that network. And what occurs is that when a device on the network has a token, only that device that has a token can send data. And then once it's sending data, it's going to pass it on to the next device. And then if they need to send data, they can send it on. If not, they'll pass it on to the next, and so forth. And the purpose of this token is very important because it prevents collisions, because it's not the same as with CSMA where there's multiple access. You don't have multiple access with token ring. It's single access. So the token prevents collisions. Now with CSMA, we have collision detection and we have collision avoidance. It's a bit different. The difference is that multiple devices can be using the network at once. So it allows it to scale up a lot more than token ring. So that's our quick introduction to carrier sense multiple access and token ring network access methodologies.